Hey everybody, we're back doing RPG stuff. Specifically, we're back playing Clumsy and Random, the Star Wars role-playing game that's about as coherent as this intro. Um, Here's the gist of it. I've got a bunch of NPC cards for the game. I am going to give each of our players, let's introduce our players. Kurt Larson, player number
Hello.
one.
Hi.
And Christian Sorrell, famous role-playing guru. They're each going to get three. What?
I said, okay, sure. Yeah. That's what I'll be known as here.
Role-playing expert. Everyone expects the best from you.
Okay. I got to bring it.
Everybody will get 3 cards from this deck at random. They may choose which one they want to be for the duration of this session. So they might be a wealthy noble or a C8 saboteur droid. If they don't like any of the 3 options, they may wipe them out, all of them, and get one at random that they're going to be stuck with. They have no choice in that one. And then it's up to me to come up with the scenario, how these characters exist in the universe, and then we mess around with that for about an hour until something happens that makes the story end. Everybody good?
Yeah. I'm ready.
We've gotten
to embrace
through
the chaos.
This is about this is the cards we have to work with. And just for reference, it has been a little while since we've done this, but these are the cards that we've used. These are all we're not reusing characters, so you know
that's actually a lot. Yeah,
a long and storied history of Clumsy and Random.
I'm surprised there's that many left still. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a lot slimmer, but I guess we'll see what we end up with.
I wish there were more, but all right. Christian, as the guest, you get to go first.
Okay.
Use wisely.
To make you feel like you have some agency, which you don't, I'm going to run my finger up the deck and you say stop.
Stop.
Okay, I'm going to pick 3 cards from that point. Feel like
sure, with internet delay, that was accurate to exactly what I wanted you to stop.
Your choices are a Death Star Trooper Officer.
Okay.
A Twi'lek Dancer.
It'd be hard to turn that one down, but I'm ready to see my third option.
And Imperial Gunnery Corps. I guess the whole corps, not a single guy.
Like a small group, a small troop of people. Or I can take one at random.
That you're going to take one at random?
Well,
or just considering
that's my choice. I'm considering it. It's in the name, right? Clumsy and Random.
Well, it's always a little random.
I mean, it was already pretty random.
I know, but then it's really random. I'm going to go random. I'm embracing chaos. As long as that doesn't take those 3 cards out, right? You got to shuffle them back in because I want Kurt to have a chance to be the dancer.
They will be back in next time we play, but they will not be going back in the deck right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I want random. I want to embrace the chaos.
In order to lock in your choice for random, you must say wipe them out, all of them, in your best Darth Sidious voice.
Wipe them out, all of them. I don't remember how that exact line read goes.
Good enough.
Is it a Sidious line? I was thinking that was like Anakin.
What? God, you need to watch more prequels.
Is that not Anakin talking about?
That's from Phantom Menace. He's talking about.
It seems like it would be Palpatine, right?
The Gungans or the Naboo? I think he's talking about the citizens of Naboo.
This is very
maybe
important.
The Gungans.
Yeah, I just watched them, and it's much more subdued than I thought. He says, "Wipe them out, all of them."
He says, "All of them."
Yeah.
You get. Are you ready for this? Mr. has not watched enough of the Clone Wars. You're Cad Bane.
Oh, I saw him die. Hey, I saw some. I saw when he stormed the Capitol.
Can you do the voice?
I mean,
Though?
that's
You have
good
to do the
stuff.
voice accurately.
Oh, what is it
Do you
like
have a
again?
voice modulator like filter?
Hold on. Well, you can figure out Kurt's. That's fun though. I'll watch a video. It's really weird. I remember me thinking this is a weird voice choice.
It's sort of normal, but there's like a reverb thing on top of it. Kurt, say when.
When?
You get an Imperial Intelligence agent.
Okay.
Lady
Which is
with
different from
red
ISB,
ball.
right? This is
Uh,
Imperial Intelligence, not intelligent or
this
Imperial
is the
Security
Imperial
Bureau.
the Imperial Intelligence Bureau, the IIB.
Yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
Okay. Choice number 2 is Imperial Assassin.
Okay, kind of cool looking OC type vibes there. I love the patch eye.
Kind of like
The armor
edgelordy
is very
player.
strange looking. Does not look very Star Wars to me.
It looks like a still suit from Doom.
Yeah. It really does.
It's Paul Atreides. Or a physician.
Okay. I mean, none of these super fit with Cad Bane. Not that most things usually fit with the other characters anyways, but I don't know. I mean, is it worth it going with the random could be so risky because I could be like a Lothcat or something.
Lothcat is still in the deck.
It's like the one animal Joe hasn't got me to play yet.
There's also a Varactyl sitting on top of the deck, so there's still some wildlife that Leo hasn't pulled.
I mean, none of the three you pulled for me are that interesting, I think. So this is really risky.
Yeah, the assassin is maybe the most one you could pair up with Bane to just be like, oh, assassin's
they could be like on a mission.
Yeah. But I always lean towards embracing the chaos of random. So
yeah, let me think of a Palpatine voice here. I like the Palpatine from Return of the Jedi who has more of a lisp. So that's more like a wipe them out, all of them. I don't know if that lisp came through, but I tried.
We're doing it. Your character is a Death Star trooper.
Okay. It's a lot of Imperial troopers left in this deck.
Yeah, it's because nobody picks them.
It's because they're
so
boring.
specific. Death Star trooper,
be...
Death Star officer, gunnery trooper, gunnery
assistant
officer,
to the Death Star officer.
Maybe I should like selectively remove some of these boring ones.
So you said Death Star trooper? That's what it was?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's what I am.
You have one of those swoop back hats. He's got one of the black swoopy hats.
Yeah, he's got a dumb hat. That's what they're called.
Yeah.
So he looks a lot like the Gunnery Corps guy, but he's different because he's a trooper, not a gunner.
Well, if you would like the backstory, Death Star troopers are specially trained Imperial Navy personnel assigned to billets aboard the DS-1 Death Star mobile battle station, culled from Imperial Navy's various branches and given extensive training in the operation and maintenance of their new home's many systems. These troopers are proud to ensure that the massive battle station runs at peak efficiency. And there's more. Oh, they have a uniform consisted of a double-breasted military tunic, trousers, tall black leather boots. An oversized teardrop-shaped open-faced helmet completes the ensemble while on duty. Sounds like someone on like the Home Shopping Network explaining.
Yeah, like QVC for Imperial uniforms.
So I guess my question is, does this mean that we're on the Death Star, or maybe I'm just a Death Star trooper who's not? Like we're someplace else, and this Death Star trooper's just left his post
offshore. You're on shore
he's
leave.
On shore leave.
Dreading the day you have to get back to your billet.
My first thing that came to my mind is that maybe Cad Bane has some kind of job where he needs to get information out of this guy or like steal his credentials. But it's tough if I put you two against each other.
Yeah,
Death Star guy is
Cad
going to
Bane will
die.
win.
But if he dies, we immediately get to draw you a new character.
Mm-hmm. Or is this a situation?
Prologue scene of Cad Bane shooting a Death Star trooper.
You keep killing me until I get a good card.
Okay, here we go. Death Star trooper was on shore leave. He was apprehended. What?
It's got to be Neamos that I was vacationing on, the Andor Techno Beach planet.
Okay, he was on Neamos, the Techno Beach tropical looking planet, but it was actually filmed on like the beach in England or Wales somewhere actually pretty chilly.
Kind of a chilly beach, yeah.
He was chilling, having a little vacation when rebel commandos operate. They heard, I guess this guy's from the Death Star 1. I'm trying to think of how this does not override the plot of Rogue One, because they barely knew about the existence of the Death Star before blowing it up.
So they didn't know what.
This is set right. Well, I guess when does Cad Bane die? This is the problem with all Star Wars RPG.
Cad Bane dies after Return of the Jedi.
Okay, well then we'll say this guy has an extended shore leave because he was on the wreckage of the Death Star 1. He survived the explosion.
Well, what I was gonna say is some commandos kidnap this guy because, but remember at the start of Rogue One, that guy tells Cassian about a planet killer. There was another like knockoff Cassian, knockoff informant, parallel stories, and he goes, I know this guy, he's gonna be on shore leave. You got to get him. So they kidnap this guy. And as soon as he failed to report in, it was reported, escalated, like, okay, this is a security risk. Maybe we shouldn't have been issuing these guys vacation time. And Cad Bane has been hired to rescue him, which he has just done. But now they are in the middle of a rebel, not like a base, but like something a bit bigger than a safe house. Cad Bane has to like extract this guy while fighting rebels. That's my pitch.
Yeah, like a rebel Airbnb.
Right. So there are other rebels. The alarm has been tripped. Cad Bane has killed the people guarding him, and it now has to extract him. It's the movie Extraction with Chris Hemsworth, except instead of Chris Hemsworth, it's Cad Bane. And instead of a little Middle Eastern child, it is a Death Star trooper.
Have not seen
it. Except for what I assume it would say the movie as being the good guys. We're most definitely the bad guys.
Yes, absolutely.
Sounds like as good a pitch as any to me.
Alternatively, this Death Star trooper is just a veteran of both Death Stars who somehow got lucky and managed to get off, and was living in Mos Eisley when Cad Bane shows up working for the Pikes. I think let's go with pitch number one. I like
the Extraction. Yeah, the Extraction sounds more guaranteed for some chaos.
Right. Okay, so you find yourselves the Death Star trooper. Cad Bane has just uncuffed him. He was tied to a metal folding chair, and the rebels were trying to extract information out of him. And Cad Bane has, like, the last rebel in the room has just slumped to the ground with a hole in his head. And Cad Bane has uncuffed this guy.
Are there any? Does the other rebel in this room, whoever was like interrogating or whatever, have a weapon?
There's no weapons in the room, but it's like a I don't know, a townhouse or whatever. There's probably guns somewhere in there.
Okay. Well, I was just saying, I definitely wouldn't give. I don't get the feeling Cad Bane would give one of his blasters to this guy to defend himself. He'd be like, I can make better use of them. But yeah, I'm just gonna pull him up, and in whatever sort of like cowboyish voice Cad Bane has, say,
sounds just like John Wayne.
It's kind of like weird and nasal. It's like
it's just
he has
like,
sort of an accent.
Yeah, it's very weird. I don't think I can do it.
He's like, I'm talking sort of like this with a nasally
like a weird vocoder on it.
It's a good,
name is
it's a good voice,
Bane.
but it's not Cad Bane.
It is a good voice. Well, it's not doable, I guess is what I'm saying. It is.
No,
it's
it's
weird.
impossible
It's a little Squidward. It's a little Squidward. It's a little nasal Squidward.
It's impossible to do a good
He's
Cad
like,
Bane.
well, there.
I mean, that's closer to Cad Bane, but it's.
That's what I'm gonna do. That I'm just gonna kind of do a Squidwardy guy, the really sad public access version of Cad Bane. Get up, we gotta go.
It's not bad, actually. Whoa, you're Cad Bane. Are you here for me?
You'd be dead if I wasn't. Pull up, gonna go open the door out to the other room and try to find a gun or something to give this guy.
One of the rebels who's laying on the floor outside the room is like shakily raising his blaster to point at you. He goes, "Oh." Okay, he's dead. You don't have to roll. Cad Bane does not need to make a skill check for a point blank kill shot.
I have never seen someone shot to death in front of me before. This is very traumatic.
Like character exposition, or like are you saying this out loud to Cad Bane?
No, yeah, this is he's saying it out loud.
I see you saying it out loud. You're gonna want to get
sir?
used to it.
You're gonna have to give me a minute, sir, because this is kind of freaking me out a little bit. I haven't seen somebody just executed in front of me before. Okay.
Bend down and pick up the blaster and be like, "Take this. We gotta get out of here."
What kind of blaster is it, Joe?
It's a blaster pistol.
I mean, I've only been trained to use an E11 blaster rifle, so this is kind of, I don't know. I mean, I'll do my best, sir, but
I'm sure you'll figure it out. You better get used to seeing dead people too. Come on.
I hope this turns into a lone wolf and cubs kind of situation.
The lone wolf and cub situation, but with just an inept adult man.
The alarms are going off in the base now. You go bwah, 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 and then it repeats. That's
weirdly melodic.
The rebel alarm system.
Did we decide that this is officially before A New Hope, or is this?
Yes, this is happening parallel to the events of Rogue One.
Okay, we've got to get out of here.
Exists, but it is not public knowledge.
We've got to get out of here quick, Mr. Bane, sir. If they get any of these secrets they tortured out of me back to their rebel commanders, you know, a lot of bad stuff could be happen. They don't want to. We don't want them to learn about the existence of where I usually work when I'm not on vacation. You know.
Wait, are you telling me that you gave them the secrets?
I mean, like, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? They kind of put my feet to the iron, so to speak.
Was my job just to get this guy back, or was it to ensure that the secrets should fall to the rebel hands?
Narratively, I feel like it should be the first one, but as a writer familiar with how the Empire operates, it's definitely the second one.
Making sure no secrets get.
He is worthless to you at this point.
Well,
it's okay as long as you get me out, you know, before they get word back. Then there's like, okay, I don't know how much you're allowed to know, how much you're in on.
You're coming with me to make sure that the word doesn't get out. Now, come on. I'm gonna gesture for him to go. For us to be like, we got to go to the other parts of the safe house and try to make sure this information doesn't get out. We got to find a rebel and kill him.
Just got to make sure they don't transmit the plans to the station I work on. I don't want to say any more than that, but as long as they don't get the plans, it'll all be fine. They should have no other way to get them, so then we'll be good.
We need to make sure that it's fine.
By the way, my name is Ted. Ted Star Trooper, by the way. So just so we're on a name to name basis. Because I knew who you were. I don't know if they told you my name, I guess, but I'm
I'm
Ted,
gonna
Star
put
Trooper.
my hand out, shake your hand, and then with my other hand, I'm going to grazing shot your thigh with my blaster. This feels like the Cad Bane thing to do from the little I've seen of him.
All right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you're gonna come and you're gonna help me get that secret before it gets out.
Yeah, you succeed. I'm not going to make you roll for that.
Oh, ow!
There will be very little that I'm going to ask Cad Bane to make a roll for.
Oh, my leg, my leg. Okay, sir. Whatever you say. Whatever you say. Just don't shoot me in the leg again.
I was hoping I'd just have to get you out, but it sounds like I'm gonna have to. Sounds like you know more about the rebel operation here, so you point us to the secret, and I'll put a stop to it. Take your gun. I put it back in your hand like you dropped it or something when I shot
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Where to you.
You guys hear the front door open. Someone go, "Hey, got some Ronto wraps. I got a bag for everybody. Who wants one?" "Oh, what the?" And then you hear like a bag of food fall to the floor as somebody like cocks a gun, even though it doesn't need to be cocked because it's a laser gun.
Do we see them?
No, he's
He's
One room
he's
over.
in a different adjacent room.
Oh, okay. Well, that might be your secret haver right there. Why don't you go ahead and take care of them?
Okay, I'll do my best, sir.
Sounds like we got some Ronto wraps if we clean this up.
And Ted tries to action hero kick the door open to burst into the other room.
It is a sliding Star Wars door, so you just really hurt your ankle. And it exacerbates the pain you've already felt from like that grazing shot that was shot into you. And then you hear from the other side, the rebel goes, "Are you stuck in there? Let me get you out."
Ow! They're torturing me in here. If only...
Oh, wait a minute. You sound like the prison. Are you? Is that you, Ted? What did you do to these people?
Oh, luckily there's only one guy torturing me. If there were two guys torturing me, I might give up all my secrets.
You already gave up the goods, like, you know,
not the really good ones.
I'm like whispering to Ted. I'm like, tell him that there's a bigger one.
I told you about the first one, but I haven't told you about the second one yet. But my lips are sealed.
You told them about the baby one. There's a mommy one too.
I'd like you to make a deception check.
Okay, how does that work again?
That is going to be cunning. Your cunning
high.
is 2. You don't have any related skills. So you're going to roll 2 green against...
But I feel like I'm getting like a boost from Cad Bane, who's like feeding me lines here. Is that like a blue die I can add on?
All right. I'll allow it. Throw in a blue die. So 2 green and a blue against, let's say 2 purple.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
Wait.
Well,
Hold on. I might just need to against the guy's cunning. I have his stats up as well. I will let you choose to either just throw on 2 more purple and accept that, or do a full reroll with the same your dice against 4 purple. He has 4 cunning, so it's yours cunning versus his.
how is he so smart? Yeah, I'll just reroll.
It's a rebel cell leader.
He's very cunning.
So 4 purple, 2 green, 1 blue.
He was trying to be the cool boss and like go bring everyone lunch.
Yeah. Okay, so you have one advantage. So you did not convince him that you have more to divulge, but his he doesn't think you're like a threat or there's any threat here. He goes, he's assuming that this door has been closed the whole time and whatever happened here was unrelated to you. Was Ted? Did you hear what happened? Like, he's still like on edge, but he's like, what happened here, Ted? I'm gonna open the door.
What else do I have on me?
You have
Some gadgets.
half of the back of this card is your equipment.
Excellent.
By the way, you have an ability called Always a Backup Plan. Once per encounter, you may reroll any single coercion, streetwise survival, or vigilance check. You have cybernetic lungs, which make you immune to airborne poisons and toxins.
Wow.
That's the cheek tubes.
You have twin custom LL30 blaster pistols. You have bolas. You have a compact flame projector. You have custom shock gloves. You have a long coat. You have wrist gauntlets with integrated data pad and whipcord thrower, rocket boots, and that's it. And you have some talents as well as abilities. I don't remember why talents and abilities are separate.
Okay. Well, I'm getting my flame projector ready to roast this guy up. A roast and wraps when he comes in.
He's you hear him. He's now very close to the other side of the door. He taps on it. He goes,
and I'm like back against the wall to the side of the door.
Are you alone in there, Ted?
Um.
God.
I'm eyeballing you, Ted. Pointing a blaster at your head, Ted. You're alone. Mouthing you're alone.
I am alone, sir.
Okay, I want you to make another. Do the same roll, except change out that blue for a black.
Okay. Here we go. 2 failures, 2 disadvantage.
Okay, he goes, Sith spit. He pushes a button by the door, and you hear it like click and seal. He goes, you wait there, Ted. I believe you. And he walks. He like kind of goes away.
So he locked
clearly
us
does
in?
not believe you. Yeah, he's locked the door.
I just let out a big sigh and look more frustrated than if he had just come in because I know I could have killed him.
I immediately start to look for like vines that I could climb on, or if there's like horizontal lines on the wall that I could like run up the wall. Or
you guys
some
are
other
pretty
way like
much
that
in
out.
you're in the interrogation room. It's a featureless room. There one of the walls is exterior, but there's no windows in it. There's just like one light. There's the chair you were in. There's the piss bucket in the corner. There's a couple dead bodies, and you also notice there is a single camera in the corner, and you've noticed that it now is starting to pan straight at Cad Bane, and it has like a telescoping effect, and when it reaches you, it sort of does like a little like
I'm
like, whoa.
It does
almost
like
a
a
double
take.
take.
It spits out its coffee.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay, I will make you do a roll for this. Your
All right, what
agility
are
is 4. You have ranged light 5. So roll 4 yellow and a green versus 2 purple.
Nailed it.
Okay, 2 successes, 3 advantage, and a triumph. So I'll give you the reins on that triumph. Take it away.
Well, I think that I like blow the little camera to pieces, and it also blows a hole through the edge of the sort of like metal plating of this interrogation room so that I can like I just noticed this little like bit of blown away plastic steel walling or whatever, and then I can go up and start to like pry this stuff down for us to try to find a way to get out.
Okay, it works.
A very like Cal like slide between the walls kind of way to get out. Well, that's bad. Come on, we gotta get out of here. I start pulling the stuff away.
Okay. I'll try to help.
Okay,
yeah, and I tell you, Ted, I'm like, actually, watch the door. He may have heard that.
Okay.
And I'm wondering who's watching the camera, but I'm gonna try to get a hole or something we can get out, or like to a duct or something to get out of here.
And I'm gonna try to balance the pee bucket on like above the door jamb, so if he comes in, it will fall on his head, and we'll have a moment.
I want you to make a roll to set up that.
Okay.
Which is probably, I'll probably call that an agility check.
Okay.
Unless you want to call it mechanics. What are mechanics? Let's just say that's agility. Do a 2 green versus 2 purple, just straight up.
Okay. Success.
You did it. All right. There is a bucket of pee poised precariously over the portal to the room.
Perfect.
I just like look back from pulling stuff at you and kind of go, "Good work," begrudgingly.
I don't have many skills, sir. Mainly keeping my uniform nice was the main thing I was hired for. But, doing janitorial work on the space station, I know my way around a bucket. So.
You hear from like the other side of the wall. You're sort of pulling through. The rebel guy is over there. He's like, "You stay in there, Cat Bane. I got a thermal detonator out here, and backup's on the way. You're not getting out of this one. I got the data. It's encoding onto a disk right now. We got what we need. We know about
I beg to differ. And I'm sort of screaming. He's freaking out like a caged animal, a little bit pulling at this to get out.
We know about the dead star.
Good for you. You and me both. Throwing stuff. Now they can hear us. I'm just being loud and like I know that they know I'm in here.
Make a tear the wall down check.
Okay.
Probably
looking for something, a little hatch, a little something.
If you want to do rather than just like sort of a brute force, you could probably like look for some way to hotwire something.
Yeah, I've got this data pad like electro glove, right? I want to.
Okay, so
I'm gonna go like bridge the circuit between two things in the wall and electro.
You have computers too. So do 2 yellow dice against 1 red die, but add 2 blue dice because of your gadgets.
Okay, just the 1 red.
Yep.
On the bad side. Okay.
Hey, okay.
1.
You succeed. So as you're like monkeying with some of the cables in the wall, the door whooshes open and the pee bucket falls onto Ted.
But you didn't know about that, did you? And I'm gonna start shooting at this guy. I didn't tell you about that. This is a much more loose version of Cad Bane that exists in the cartoons, I'm sure.
Luckily, I'm pretty because of my
gratuitous about just shooting people.
No, I just mean the more like being very. I feel like the episodes I saw with him, he's very like cold and calculating, not very like emotional and freaking out a little. But
well, I mean, we have ended up to the end of the Clone Wars. Then there's a blank period up until after Return of the Jedi. So we don't know what he's like in this period.
That's true.
Could be.
It's been tough times.
So if you burst out and start shooting, he's actually not there.
But the pee bucket fell on him.
The pee bucket fell on Ted.
On me.
Oh. Well, that makes what I said even sadder.
There.
I am protected from the pee bucket, but it is...
I'm going to kick Ted out into the room.
Oh, did the rebels let you keep your dumb helmet?
I think I've got to be in full uniform. It's right on my character card that I have that uniform, all those
All right.
different details. So
it makes sense to me that you would have been like so incessant about it that they would have just let you have it.
The
You
helmet
can't kill us with the helmet.
designed to like deflect falling buckets of pee. Okay,
It all
so
runs
you
off
push him out
perfectly.
there.
Yeah, I want to kick him out to the room, hoping he'll draw any fire or thermal detonators, and then I can follow and see what happens.
You see a glimpse of him leaving like a door closing behind him as he leaves.
The rebel leader?
Yeah, he's taken off.
there he goes, Mr. Bane.
Come on. I'm going to run after him.
Okay, so if you guys hop out the door, you see him sprinting down a little hill towards a pair of air speeders, like land speeders, and he's holding the
disc.
Like the disc. The plans are in his hand, and he's like sprinting down the hill.
Yeah, I want to try to use like a combination of my, I assume, good like streetwise kind of stuff. Like I want to see if there's a quicker way to get there than the path he's taking, and I also want to see if I can grab Ted and rocket boot us there. Quicker than him to the speeders. Like I'm not going for him as much as I'm going for the speeders right now.
I guess you know what? Because that was an interesting request, I will say there is sort of like an urban environment going down. He's going down like concrete stairs. Okay. And along the edge of the stairs is almost like a kind of a rusty corrugated steel drainage thing that is not made for water.
Down it.
You could slide down it.
I'm definitely going to slide down it. I'm going to try to get between him and the speeders.
Okay.
So I have Ted behind him. Me between him and the speeders is my goal.
Let's make an athletics check. So that is going to be 3 yellow, 1 green.
Wow.
No one's more athletic than Cad Bane.
3 purple. This shouldn't be too hard to just hop in a slide and go down it. But 2 black.
I'm trying to do it cool.
2 black because you're trying to wrangle this, piss-covered guy.
Okay.
Are you taking me with you down the slide, or just?
I was trying to get you into position like behind him.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe that means I kind of like shove you down as I start to slide or something.
With a threat. So the threat is, so you hop on the slide, dragging him with you. He is not nearly as graceful as you and flails and backhands one of your rocket boots, which ignites it and sends you you still make it to the bottom, but you start kind of corkscrewing and ragdolling like a bad physics glitch. And you take some lumps on your way down, and your hat falls off and sort of slowly drifts to the floor. But you did make it down to the bottom before this rebel guy, who now hits the brakes.
I try to grab my hat and get up, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so instead of going for your guns, you grab your hat as this guy stops and turns into a very narrow alley. And he's going, oh bother, oh bother.
I'm just gonna look at Ted and be like, get after him. To try to pick myself up since you're still standing, I presume.
Ted went down the slide face up, head first, which was actually the most efficient way because of the way his helmet was designed to maximize
aerodynamic
friction.
Yeah, I'll chase down the alley.
All right, let's do a little chase sequence. So roll your athletics or agility.
2 green.
2 green versus this guy's versus 3 purple. And we can leave it at that. Just roll that.
I got no successes, but 1 advantage.
Okay, so as you tumble down the alleyways of Neamos, you pass by. He's like tipping over trash stacks and um, pulling like loose cables out of the walls to like spark at you because it's Star Wars. There's like loose cables everywhere.
Yeah, throwing a shelf over and that somehow stops it.
And you manage to keep up for the longest time until he grabs a piece of fruit off like a nearby windowsill and just whips it at the ground, making like a slick that you slip on. And so you fail to get him. But as he's going, yes, got him, Cad Bane on one rocket boot lands right in front of him. And he stops again and he pulls out a gun and he tries to shoot. So let's do an initiative.
Okay.
Yeah, some kind of quick draw here.
Cad Bane, vigilance is you can re-roll a vigilance. Vigilance is, I think, cunning. You have vigilance 5. So your initiative check, I think, is going to be 4 yellow and a green.
God.
Vigilance. Vigilance is willpower.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be 3 yellow and 2 green.
Vigilance is what you're thinking of. Or there's cool, which is presence.
Which is the one that is... Vigilance is when you don't know it's coming, so it is cool.
No, vigilance is you're
cool
prepared. Oh no, checking initiative when surprised. You're right. And cool is when you're not surprised.
Okay, so Cad Bane, not surprised. So you're rolling a cool check. He has a cool skill of 5, a presence of 2, which is interesting. So 2 yellow, 3 green is your initiative roll.
Okay, 4 successes.
Wow.
4 successes.
An advantage.
And this guy's vigilance check, which is willpower. He does not have a vigilance skill, so it is just going to be 4 green. Less successes, so you get to shoot first. Do you want, or do something else first? You don't have to shoot him.
He has. Can I see the disc?
It's in his offhand. His main hand is drawing his pistol.
I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to shoot. I don't know how many actions I get. If I can do 2 things, I'm gonna try to shoot. Then I want to try to grab his offhand so I can shock him with my glove.
Okay.
So I make him drop it.
Shooting. So 4 yellow and a green versus, I think at this range, 2 purple.
Okay.
I don't think Cad Bane is keen to miss.
4 successes and a triumph. Seem to be on an easy mode over here with Cad Bane.
So do you have you can describe your triumph, exactly what happens if you want?
I think it's just that. I think it's like I shoot as I'm like trying to close the distance. I like step forward once and I like fire from my hip. So it's like it's like we get the shot where you just see the light of the blaster bolt, but we don't actually see the blaster bolt hit him like the Darth Maul getting cut in half, but it's a guy getting shot in the gut with a blaster kind of shot. And then as he starts to sort of slump back, I grab his hand and I shock his hand so he drops the disc on the ground. And then I'm going to step to Ted and be like, get it. If that's
electricity makes your muscles contract, so he actually grips it harder when you shock him, but otherwise everything happens.
Well, it'd be like, and then he lets go.
Okay, yeah.
Was
not a constant surge of electricity. Yep. So he's on his back, sizzling, like there's smoke coming off of him, and there's a bigger smoke coming off of the hole in his stomach as he's staring up at you, like, sad because he's dying. If I was a screenwriter, that's what I'd put in the script. Man is sad because dying.
I just look down at him and go, hey, no hard feelings. Maybe you'll make it. Live to fight another day, you know. I'm just after the secrets, that's all. I'm gonna scrunch the tape under my rocket boot.
You break it?
The dead star. The galaxy needs to know about the dead star.
Sure, all your rebel friends will just take you at your word on that. I'm gonna kick him and be like, "Let's
not
go."
How I thought it was gonna go.
It took me a long time to transcribe those blueprints from memory, Mr. Bane. It was kind of a waste to just smash them. But
yeah, Ted, you were actually like extremely helpful. Like we didn't even have to like there was no interrogation necessary. You just started scribbling. I mean, I could have sworn you were just a defector, but
I'll put in the good word back with you at home base, Ted. I'm sure they'll love to hear that. You put in a real good work today.
I just wanted to prove that I'm good at my job. You know, I know all the corridors and little ports and everything.
I'm sure they'll appreciate that very much. Come on.
What a species was this rebel leader, by the way?
human.
Okay. Just trying to visualize this scene.
Ted, you can still be good. Ted, God, why am I not dead yet?
Ted, you gotta come with me. You still got the secrets in your noggin. You're more than willing to spill them, it seems, so I need to bring you back.
Okay, I understand, Mr. Payne. Is it okay if we get some snacks on the way, though? It's kind of been a while since lunch.
Well,
Maybe
there are
some of
those roadie wraps or whatever
greens.
back in the safe house we can get on our way out.
What are the greens? I forget what that was. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, from Andor.
Oh yeah, the greenies.
Or they say like, "Oh, I like the greens." Regnog or Pizzos? There's Pizzos.
Pizzas. Can we just? Were those drugs or food? I don't remember.
I think you don't really know, but I assumed it was drugs.
I thought it.
Pizzos sounds like a drug.
Yeah.
A form of legal stimulants that came in the form of pills.
Interesting.
It's like those like Rhino Max things you see at like a gas station. Like you definitely should not take this. It's going to kill you, but not in a good, fun drug way. If you come with me, Ted, I'll get you a greeny green. That name just pleading.
Okay, sir. That sounds fine.
Good luck to you, I say to the rebel leader, and then I flip my blasters into their holsters and we start walking back.
Are there people around too, by the way? Did people see this happen? Or
You're still sort of in an alley. There's not really anybody around. There was like one like curious person who was like, huh. And then I was like, not my business. So here's I don't actually know how long this has been. Feels like a shorter one, but this seems like the time for the epilogue. Here's how this plays out. Cad Bane takes Ted. He gets him a greeny green and takes him on his ship, flies him back to the Imperial place where he was hired, gets paid, flies off to go get killed by Boba Fett in another 15 years or whatever. Ted was, told he was about to get a promotion for his hard work. Instead was a mind flayed to ensure all that information was gone and then sent to an Imperial labor camp. And coincidentally, that meant he didn't die on the Death Star when the Death Star blew up.
When the news reports came in, he was really happy about it.
But then
he served his time. He lived a long life.
The camera, like the footage of the film, rewinds all the way back to when the rebel guy, whose name was Toda Sneezerzik, according to
normal name,
my random name generator. Right as he was running out and you guys chased him, the camera pans over and there's an astromech droid there. at the console where he was, and the astromech downloaded a second copy of the data, or the real copy. Maybe what he had on the disk was a fake, and it goes down to an X-wing, hops in the X-wing, flies to Yavin. When it lands, it is immediately everybody is scrambling, and somebody goes, "Oh, thank God, a free X-wing!" And he hops in and he gets up, and they go to space. And when they come out of space, they're over Scarif, and there's a huge battle happening. And this droid is like, "Did nobody even want me to tell them what was going on? I better just transfer this information to the capital ship, the most important one, the Raddus. I'm going to beam this information to the Raddus right there." And then so it transferred the plans to the Raddus, which were then put on a disc, handed to Princess Leia, put into R2, and that's the rest. And that droid, his name, Albert Einstein.
I knew it.
They communicated it back down the line, and this is now a splinter timeline where all the people from Rogue One didn't die. They actually left the planet. This is great.
No, they still died. They just died for nothing.
They found out right as the wave from the explosion was coming.
And this is
we
all...
actually got a second copy from somebody else a few minutes ago. It's no big deal, guys. You can come back.
This is all canon. If you watch Rogue One, the timeline doesn't line up. They don't open the shield gate, and they don't have enough time to finish the download. You can watch the bars.
You can see that little astromech.
Yeah, one of those shots of the space battle you can see is the dome rotates in just the way that that's indicative of data transfer.
Yeah.
And then at the end of our, so we have an epilogue. We have an epilogue at the end of our scene where we see Ted, Star Trooper, slaving away on, I already forget the name of the prison planet, whatever.
Wobani.
Yeah, he's on Wobani, digging in the dirt or whatever they do on Wobani. And he's like just chatting with the other prisoners. He's like, "Oh yeah, I had a mind flame right before I came here. I recommend doing it like once a month. It really just keeps your mind fresh. Otherwise, there's like too much, anxiety. It's just distracting. I do my best work right after a mind flaying. So happy to be here."
The person he was talking to is just has like 10 eyes, and they all are rolling.
And it's like he's talking in English or whatever, and the other guy's just like, it's right there. Like, doesn't understand probably and doesn't care to.
That just... I could make it dark again, because that reminds me of the Rebel Rising, I think is the name of the book, about Jyn. Basically, her time on that planet in prison, like, one of her fellow inmates just decided to stop working because if you stop working, they shoot you. And they're like, well, this is better than keeping working.
Yeah.
So that guy thought, I cannot listen to Ted anymore. I'm just going to throw my tools down and let the stormtroopers shoot me.
I do like the idea of Ted being sort of like an energy vampire from What We Do in the Shadows kind of vibe. It's just like people hate being around him, even though he doesn't really do anything bad. Like, he's not good, but he isn't like an antagonistic force at all.
He's not trying to...
He sucks to Mira.
He eventually gets out of Wobani because there's a stormtrooper guarding an exit, and he just chats the guy to sleep. He just falls asleep, and Ted goes, I'm gonna go this way, thanks. And then no one ever stops him because he kind of bored all the guards to sleep on his way out.
And eventually he gets hired on the Death Star 2 because, like, wow, you have a lot of relevant experience. This is your good hire.
Yeah, and he was second to Moff Jerjerrod. He really stepped up the effort doubling there at the end before Palpatine's arrival, and got some vacation time for his hard work and wasn't on there when it blew. And retired on Mos Espa, and one day looked out his window and he saw Cad Bane with a gaffy stick stuck into his stomach. He goes, "Hey, I remember that guy." And that is this episode of Clumsy and Random, making all of your Star Wars dreams come true.
It's 100% canon.
Yeah, I mean, to be serious, I was on the phone with Dave Filoni the other day, and he said, yeah, I'd sanction whatever happens in Clumsy and Random. I do have to submit it to Lucasfilm for approval. But if you're watching this, that means it was approved and they like it and it's canon. So.
And then there's a post-credit scene with Thrawn. You just see him at the back, but you know it's a blue. You see his blue hand touch the capital ship throne.
The
captain seat.
Ship throne.
And we know.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a Thrawn card, to be honest. When I
feel like there is, because there was that whole like rebel centric book, and he had stats in it, I think.
Yeah, but there's not a card. There are more stats than there are cards. There is.
That's true.
A book on my shelf that maybe we can use for an episode where we roll page numbers instead of cards, because it has like all the named NPCs statted out. The only ones I think it's just Clone Wars characters that got cards.
That sounds right.
We've had Mother Talzin and Dooku come up in Ventress before. Ventress was in the Ewok episode, wasn't she? Or was that a different one?
Yeah, she was in the Ewok episode. Yeah. She must have drawn her for the NPC then.
Yeah, everybody go watch from last Ewoktober. I think it was Fucko's Big Adventure. The Ewok's name was Fucko.
And it's all canon.
It's completely innocent in his language.
So if you are one of the millions wishing Ventress was not dead, turns out she's not, and she helps Fucko the Ewok tame a Rancor? I think that's what happens in that story.
Sounds right.
Thanks for watching Clumsy and Random. There'll be more of this in the future. There'll be more role-playing game stuff of various flavors. Hope you had fun, because I always do.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.
Bye.